Hello and welcome to Amá CONVERSA. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing very, very well. Today
Good.
we have Vivian Santos, who is a Fadista of California. Can you tell everyone where exactly in California do you live?
I live in Hanford, California. It's about 40 minutes south of Fresno.
Okay,
Yeah,
so 40 minutes south of Fresno, and you are a former Bulldog, right?
I am Bulldog born, Bulldog bred.
Love it. And I also found out recently that you are a music teacher. And not only that, you also conduct a musical. So can you tell us a little bit of where you teach, what exactly you teach, and how long have you been teaching music in general?
Okay. Well, I teach at a high school here in Hanford. It's the newest high school in town. It's only been open for about 10 or 12 years.
Oh, wow.
Um, and it's the only school I've ever taught at. I started my teaching career here. This is my fifth year. Um,
Congratulations.
thanks. Yeah, I teach choir and I teach musical theater. So my schedule changes a little bit every year, but this year, right now, I teach 3 classes of choir. I teach a beginning women's choir, a beginning men's choir, and then an advanced choir, both mixed with boys
Cool.
and girls. And
Okay.
then I'm teaching 3 classes of musical theater as well.
Wow, that is a
Yeah.
lot. So can you
Mhm.
tell me one of the musicals that you're currently working on that you're super excited about that's launching?
Yeah, we're currently working on Shrek, the
Oh,
musical.
wow, that's so cool.
Yeah. So we're super excited about it because, with COVID and everything, last year we were supposed to do Mary Poppins.
Oh,
And
wow.
about a month before it was supposed to open, is when everything shut down. So we had to cancel that show.
Oh,
And
no.
we didn't think a show was going to be possible this year.
Yeah.
But recently the band teacher next door that I work very closely with, um, he saw a musical that was done through TikTok and TikTok
Oh,
filters and TikTok effects. And if you know the Disney movie Ratatouille,
yes, of
and
course.
there was big names in this, and it was all done through TikTok, and it was all
Oh,
these videos, and they were edited together for a virtual musical. Wayne Brady was in it, Adam Lambert, and that got us really excited. And so we're doing Shrek, but we're doing it virtually
no
using
way.
yeah, and we're doing it using like TikTok filters and TikTok effects, and we're super excited about it. And
Oh my
the
gosh.
kids are just happy to at least get to do a show
You
this
guys are
year.
going to go
So,
viral. You know that, right?
oh, I don't know.
That is amazing. Well, once you do have that in your hands, I would love to share that for everyone to see because that sounds really like a lot of work, A, but B, something unique, fresh, and fun for us all to view. So thank you for doing that.
Yeah, I'll definitely give you the link to it. Unfortunately, the way it works is we have to purchase the license to be able to perform it.
Got it.
And it has to be performed in a very specific way.
Oh,
So the link will only be up for a certain amount of time, and
and then
it
bam,
is and it is paid.
got it.
So you do have to pay to get the link to watch it, but I definitely give you the link.
Yes,
The
oh my
more the
God, of
merrier.
course.
The money comes to us and our program to be able to put on a show, because
Yes.
just to get the license for a show on a normal year is over
That's-
$3,000. And
Oh
that's
my
not
God.
and that's just to get the books and the permission to perform it. So that's not even including the sets and the costumes
Oh
and
yeah.
all of that. So we could always use the support.
Oh my gosh, of course, of
Yeah.
course. That is very exciting. And I didn't even know that the costs were so high to obtain a script of that nature. So that's also good to know. Always
Hmm.
learning, that's for sure. So
Really
you've been
high,
there
yeah.
for 5 years and you've been
Hmm.
loving it. And you've been able to do any musicals, or was last year the first one you were going to do? And then the shutdown just.
No, I've been directing musicals since I started here.
Oh,
So
fantastic.
my first musical was High School Musical, and
Yeah.
then we did Tarzan the second year, and then my third year was Freaky Friday.
Oh, wow.
And then last year was supposed to be Mary Poppins. Although I wasn't directing last year's actually because I had my baby.
Yeah.
And so I was taking a lot of maternity leave and baby bonding leave. So I actually hired out and got actually one of my students' moms who has a lot of experience in theater. I had her come in and be the director last year. I helped with casting and auditions, but I stayed home a lot last year with my baby. So then I'm back this year and we're doing Shrek.
That is so exciting. Seriously amazing. When I was in high school, I was in a musical. I think it was only one. I think I auditioned for another one, but then it didn't end up going through. I don't think they even ended up doing it. But the one that I was in was Grease. So
yeah.
Grease Lightning.
Yeah.
So
they did Grease here, I think, two or 3 years before I got here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Nice. And also, Vivian, I know you because I used to see you on Carnaval. So can you talk a little bit about Carnaval, when you got started, also the organizations that you've danced with, and you were also a mestra, correct, right?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, so I started in Grupo de Carnaval Cultural Português de São José because I was born in Morgan Hill, raised in San Jose.
Fantastic.
I moved out of San Jose when I was 11, lived in Modesto for 2 years, and then now I've been here ever since.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so my dad was one of the founders of Grupo de Carnaval. It actually began in my grandma's garage.
Wow, this is amazing.
Yeah, but he never brought me around until I was about 6.
Okay.
So I was just never involved in any of that stuff until I was about 6 years old. And then I joined the first year I was 6, and I was just a dançarina. Actually, I think Crystal Menj, which I'm sure you know her, she was mestra that year, I think. And then I was mestra de varinha for the first time the very following year. I was 7.
Oh my God. So
yeah. And then I've been in Carnaval pretty much every single year since then. The first time ever doing pandeiro, I don't even remember, maybe like 12.
Oh my
11
God.
or 12, 13, around there, between 11 and 13, I don't know. But it was with it was with Crystal Minch also. We pushed together. And then I moved to Hanford and I joined one group in Hanford. At the time, it was their last year together, but I happened to be part of that. But I played bundling in that one because I've also been playing bundling since I was 7.
Wow, I did not know that. That's fantastic.
Yeah. And so then I think after that, I took 1 year off. Then a cousin of mine started a group on his own. And we were together 4 or 5 years, and I did pandeiro every single year for them. And then we took 2 or 3 years off again. And then that's when we started Grupo Carnaval Sem Fronteiras that I've been a part of. So
that's amazing. I love that group so much. I've actually made sweatshirts for you guys before. So that was cool. But okay, so another thing, not only do I know Vivian from Carnaval, but I know Vivian because she is heavily, heavily involved with Fado. And she's been involved with Fado even before I was involved, much longer than me. And she has a beautiful voice for Fado. Not only that, I saw something amazing. I think it was from a few years ago. I believe it was an opera that you did.
Oh, it wasn't. I posted it on Facebook. That's not an opera. It's classical music, which a lot of Portuguese people don't know that I sing classical music as well. But that's what my degree is in. And so that video that I posted was my senior recital. So for college. So when you major in music, if you're a music education major, you have to have a 30-minute senior recital. Performance majors have to have an hour. And there's all these like guidelines you have to follow. Like you have to have at least one song in French, one in Italian, one in German. Then there's all these songs you have to sing a song from like each time period as well. Wow. And then once you hit those, then you can sing whatever songs you want, which I actually ended that senior recital with 2 Fado songs. That's how I ended my senior recital.
That's amazing. Dang. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, super cool. Well, if you have anything you would like me to share, go ahead and send that to me and I'll definitely be sharing it. I'm telling you guys, Vivian, she is definitely worth checking out. Vivian Santos, she sings so beautifully. Seriously, a voice of an angel. Beautiful. When I saw it, I was like, what the heck? That's so cool. And then years ago, your primo, Steve Lorenzo, which I am friends with.
That's my uncle.
Your uncle. Oh my gosh.
That's
okay.
My dad's youngest brother. They are 21 years apart. My dad's the oldest and my uncle's the youngest. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So there are three then. There are three brothers or two?
Three brothers. Three brothers. Okay. Yeah, 3 brothers and 3 sisters. Yeah.
Oh, big family. All right, cool. Sempre aprender. So I saw one of your fados that Steve posted, and I think it was from I think it was 2016 or even a little bit earlier. Okay. But when I saw it, I think you were wearing a red dress, and I was like, wow, who is this? So when I saw it, I was like, this is the same person that I see in Carnaval. And then I started like putting the little pieces together, and then I dove a little bit more deeper. And I was like, dude, she is actually Fadista and she sings so well. And not only that, then I discovered that your husband is a guitarrista. So he plays guitarra portuguesa.
Yeah, he plays any string instrument ever.
Oh my God.
If you go back and watch it's kind of funny because if you go back and watch the Carnaval groups that we've done the last few years with Carnaval Sem Fronteiras, you'll notice he's playing a different instrument in like each video. He's playing a guitar. Yeah, he's playing a guitar one year. The next year he's playing bandolim, and then last year he actually played violin.
Oh my God, violin? That's totally.
He plays any string instrument. You know, we started off with bandolim and regular guitar, and then got heavy into like the folklore stuff. So he plays viola da terra.
Oh wow, that's very hard to play.
Yeah, and all of those. So I mean, we literally have like 18 different string instruments sitting in our living room.
So you literally have like a instrument museum in your house, kind of a thing.
Yeah, we sure do. And then and then at some point he picked up violin. I don't know, guitarra. He started picking up a couple of years before we started dating. It's when I started singing Fado, and it was because of him that I started singing Fado. We weren't together. Yeah, we weren't together back then. It was because of him and his best friend. They kind of just pushed me to sing, and his best friend plays viola. He's also in our group's Carnaval, and and so then we started messing around with it, and he started kind of teaching himself, watching videos, reading books, and that's how it kind of got started. That was about, I don't know, we've been together for like 10 years, so
oh my goodness,
13 or 14 years ago. Yeah.
Wow.
That he started teaching
that
himself.
Was a while back. That's fantastic. Yeah. See, so the music brought you guys together. That is very, very sweet. And I was actually talking to one of our mutual friends earlier, which was Diane, and she met Paulo through Carnaval. And I met my husband through Carnaval, and then you met your husband through Fado. So I think it's also so fascinating when we meet our loved one or soulmate through music or through art. Yeah. That's so cool.
I actually met my husband was not through Fado though.
Oh wow!
No, he was in a conjunto, and I got invited to be the female vocalist of that conjunto. Oh my God. That's how we met, and then that conjunto broke up, and we started our own, called, the name of the band was Loucura. And then,
God, wow. I didn't know this, by the way. That's so cool.
Yeah. We were only together for two or 3 years, and then it kind of just split up. We're all still great friends, the entire band. Like it wasn't anything, no fights or anything. It kind of just went we were just busy with other things. And that's how we met.
So is this this band Loucura, was this a Fado conjunto or just a band for like festas?
Band for festas.
That's so cool. Wow.
Yeah, so it started with a band called Asurian that he was in with his cousins for many years.
Oh wow.
And then I joined probably the last 2 or 3 years of that band. And then that band broke up and we started our own. And then somewhere towards the end of that is when we started dating. I don't know.
Oh, wow. That's so cool. So
Yeah.
another thing, me and Vivian participated in a discussion that was hosted by Senor Denise Borges, which is a big, big influence at Fresno State, your alma mater.
Yes.
And yes, and he wanted to do a Zoom about Fado in California and the influence that Amalia has had in all of us. And it was kind of a little bit of a tribute to her for her centennial, 100 years. It was her 100th birthday on July 1st. And well, some say it's July 1st, some say July 6th, so whatever day. And so this show is actually heavily influenced by Amalia. As you can see, the name is the first 3 letters of Amalia Rodrigues' name, Amá CONVERSA. So on that discussion, you hit a lot of points that not only did I agree with, but I loved. And some of the points I was like, thank you so much, Vivian, for speaking what a lot of us are thinking inside. So one of the biggest issues that a lot of the Fadistas have, in particular California, because that is what we were talking about, that we are very limited when it comes to musicians. And we're also very limited when it comes to events. We have a lot of singers, but we don't have enough events or musicians to support them all. So I think this brings up 2 important topics to me. Is A, this is something I've already talked about on Amá CONVERSA, but I feel like we definitely need more musicians. So anybody listening out there, definitely get your kids involved in music, because maybe one day they can play for us. And then the second part is, whenever our events start coming back, I think we when we think of Fado, we think, oh, it has to be a Fado night. No, it doesn't have to be this formal Fado night thing. Like we can have Fado music in different kinds of events that we're doing. It doesn't necessarily always have to be an event catered to Fado or a sit-down dinner. Say if you're doing like uma festa de vindimas, ou estás a fazer uma festa, uma matança, or something like that. You can always think about out of the box, think about it out of the box entertainment. Maybe a fadista could come and sing a little bit, 3 or 4 fados. It doesn't have to be this big production thing. So I feel like there needs to be more opportunities and more chances for not only beautiful singers like you, Vivian, but we have plenty of other ones as well here in the community that don't really have a chance to sing or don't have many opportunities. And I think you definitely hit a subject that is very dear to my heart, because I love to be collaborative. And I honestly believe, and I even said it on the discussion, that teamwork makes the dream work. So I'm hoping that after this pandemic that I can maybe contribute to some of the events, whether it be planning them or whether it be, you know, assigning you perhaps to sing at some of these things that we're going to be doing. But I definitely do believe that it is an important thing to focus on, that, you know, California doesn't only have 2 or 3 fadistas. We have at least 2 handfuls. So we need to encourage, and we need to be collaborative. Like I said, we need to be inclusive. We need to be helpful. I do really, really believe in that strongly. And that's what I've literally been trying to do since 2019. And I'm just pushing more and more for that. So Vivian, can you talk a little bit about that? Because I know you're 40 minutes south of Fresno, and sometimes, you know, just like you mentioned, we forget. We sometimes forget. We only focus on the Valley or San Jose, and sometimes we forget that there is a lot more going on in California than just that.
Yeah, I had mentioned, you know, that us musicians down here, like in the South Valley,
Yeah.
you know, when you get past like Turlock and Hillmar in that area, we kind of get forgotten sometimes. And, you know, I get invited every once in a while, but like most of my gigs in the past couple of years has been because of Senor Denise Borges and events going on around here. in our area, and and he makes sure to include me, which I'm very thankful for. I got to sing for a book release, an autobiography of Senhora Lucia Noia, and that was amazing. There was people from Portugal there, and people from congressmen and senators and stuff there, and it was really awesome. And he got me to sing for fundraisers, for Portuguese fundraisers. He was in charge of a organization in Tulare through the schools called Sopas. And in 2018, they nominated me as, Portuguese-American Artist of the Year.
Oh, wow.
And I won. That was pretty cool. I got all my fancy certificates from Congress and Senate and, all of that. And he had, there was a while there that, he really pushed for me, but, I feel like sometimes it's a lot of talk. I go to these events, I sing, I get, all these great comments afterwards, all this praise, all these people like, hey, I'm involved in such and such, and hey, I'm going to be doing this, and we're looking for FADISTA, and that's a couple months out, and they're like, and I really want you, to come. I give them my number, and then I never get the call, and then a few months happens, that event happens, and it's somebody else up there on the stage, and they forgot that, that I was a thing. So.
You're pointing at me because that happened to me 3 times in a row. After the 3rd strike, I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna count on this anymore.
Yeah,
but I understand.
I know they're not doing it on purpose. It's fine. I'm not saying this to like bash on anybody. It's just that we get forgotten down here in this valley, And in that same conversation, one of the other participants had said that there were only, I think it was 3 guitarristas, and there was no one else in California. And I was like, my husband's been playing guitarra for 14 years. Like, it's again, it's because of the area that we live in, and Fado is not that big here. It isn't. There aren't as many events here, and so I don't get to perform as often as I would like.
Yes. And I'm gonna try my best.
I'm always open, and I love to perform, and I've been doing it my whole life, and and I would love to be a part of it. It's just, you hear sometimes like, oh, I don't go to that because it's always the same people. It's always the same people. It's like, well, but it doesn't have to be.
Wow, I just talked about this today. How funny. Okay, yes.
Yeah, it's like, it doesn't have to be. Those people are great, but if you're tired of listening to the same people over and over, invite somebody else, because I can count 24 people, off the top of my head, who sing Fado and are not getting invited. And most of them, actually all of them, because I think I'm the only one from this area that sings Fado. So most of them that I know that sing Fado and are not getting invited are actually in the Bay Area. And so there shouldn't be an issue. They should be getting invited, but it's who you know, I guess. I don't know. There's so much talent. And the other thing too is I have nothing against bringing people from overseas or from the East Coast. Like that's cool. We love them. We all love to see new people. Okay. We love that. Okay. But don't forget that you have people here at home,
Yes.
Just don't forget that. It's totally okay. Like, I don't want anyone to take this the wrong way. No. It's totally okay to invite people from somewhere else. They don't have to be from California, but just don't forget that we should be supporting our own also, and helping them achieve their goals, and helping them get on stage as well.
100%.
And that happens not just in Fado, like
anything.
You see that in Carnaval too, right? A group will come and people will go head over heels, and they'll they'll pay at the door and they'll give all these donations and they give all these standing ovations just because they came from over there, whether or not the group was fantastic or not. But then a group from over here could be amazing and they get 3 people standing up. Everyone complains for paying $7 at the door when it's just $7 for a 3-hour show. Like, that's cheap. But they would automatically pay that to see a show from somewhere else. And it's just like, come on, we have to support our own. Because like the older generation is always saying things like, this is all going to end because the young people don't want to do it anymore. And it's not that. The young people are here, but we're not getting the support we need to continue, you know?
Yes.
So
yes.
That's, anyways, I went off on a little rant, but.
No, not even that. That was perfectly in tune, because I agree with you. And that is something that I've been thinking about for years. I've been wanting to get out more. This was like 4 years ago. I was wanting to get out more. I only sang once in 2016 as far as Fado goes, and then once in 2017, and that was it. And then 2018 was literally nothing. 2019 was when I kind of started to do my own thing. I didn't wait around for people to call me. I was actually calling them. And I was like, hey, do you have any events coming up? Do you need some entertainment for that? So I was kind of putting myself out there. And of course, this is all volunteer. This is all volunteer just to get more familiar with the people, get my name out there, get people to hear what I'm all about, and just to meet me, just to talk with me. So that's what I did for 2019, and it went very, very well. Then 2020, as you know, everything went haywire with the coronavirus. And in 2020, my goal was to have double the gigs that I did in 2019. And so I was successful in booking more than double, but as we know, everything got canceled, and the universe was like, hold on, girl, it's not your time yet. So, and then now in 2021, I have this new show, and we're talking to fadistas from everywhere. We're talking to artists and just any community member in general that has something exciting that they're doing or something that they want to share. And I think after this pandemic, it's going to take people like you, Vivian, and people like me to keep pushing our culture and pushing our music and pushing for new. You know, if people are complaining that it's always the same, or they always see the same people, or the fashions are always the same, well, okay, well, let's come up with a solution. Let's work together, and let's not make it the same. Let's make it different. Let's make it exciting. And I think that this whole pandemic, in a way, is going to work in our favor, because once it's done, people are going to crave our festas again. People are going to crave being with their friends. Like, they're going to want that again. So it's up to us all to make sure that that happens and continues to happen, because as you mentioned, the older generation likes to say that if we don't get involved, it will die. Yes, we do know that, and we are trying our best, and we're going to continue trying our best. And I think that you just literally hit the nail on the head. And I feel like people need to remember not only the 3 guitarristas that California has, but they need to remember everyone else that is a musician. And not only that, but there are singers that have so much potential, but they cannot grow or even improve because they don't have the musicians there to practice with. And that can be also very hard. But I would say to anyone that is trying to be a fadista or a singer or anything of that nature, I would say, even if you don't have the live musicians by your side, do not focus on that. Just literally focus on your voice and music in general. And later down the line, I feel like that will all come to play. But it's all about focusing on the steps first. You know, like if you want to learn how to swim, how do you do that? Some people in the Azores, they just throw a rope around you and throw you into the water and you figure it out. But for us, it's like trial and error. And so we'll just keep trying and don't give up is what I'm trying to say. Even if you don't get gigs or you think that, I don't know, you don't get invited or whatever it could be, I say, throw that all in the trash and we're going to make our own opportunities and we're going to make our own future and our own luck. And we're not going to depend on nobody else. It's like you're either with me, you're for me, or you're in my way. I don't know what the quote is, but it's like you're either with me or beside me or in my way. So
Yeah.
like I said, teamwork makes the dream work. And that's why I definitely wanted to talk with you more today. And I feel like you are so, so important to our community. And I cannot wait to see what else that you do for us all after this pandemic. I know for sure that beautiful things are going to come your way. And I appreciate you here on Amá CONVERSA today. Is there anything else that you would like to tell the listeners of Amá CONVERSA?
You know, I want to just reiterate some things, you know, because one is we talked about people being tired of the same performers or the same thing. But to me, the solution isn't give them less gigs. Like those same performers are still fantastic and they still deserve to perform. It's just something else has to change to make it more interesting.
Sprinkle in some newbies in there.
That, you know, it doesn't always have to be, okay, these same 3 people sang last year, now these same 3 people are singing this year.
Yeah,
like rotate them around a little bit. Everyone, I'm not saying like the ones who do get a bunch of gigs should perform less. Like, no, that's not what I'm saying. No. They work hard and they should continue performing, you know.
100%.
And the other thing too, is I also don't want to bash on the older generation that has worked so hard to bring these festas and these things to California, because that's important. Yes. They're the ones who started it.
100%.
But they need to also realize that it's not just us signing up to be involved, but if you want to keep the younger generation interested, you have to allow us to change things to, you know, follow the times, to make them a little bit more
control, basically.
Release control a little bit, because we're not signing up to be robots, you know, and just do whatever you tell us. Like we're signing up to try to help you bring in the younger generation. But if things stay exactly the same way they've been for the last 60 years, it's not, younger generations are not going to continue coming to the festas. And it's not just people signing up, but you have to keep them coming, you know. So that's important too. But other than that, for sure, just like if you want it, go for it. Find a way. Don't let things become excuses. And but I also need to say, also don't undercut your fellow performers. You know, that to me is important. Know your value, know your worth. When you're just starting, is, you know, yes, take a few free or cheap gigs here or there, but musicians work really hard. And we put a lot of our time, a lot of our money in equipment and travel. And, you know, it's not just the time where they're performing, you know. And so know your value, know your worth, and don't undercut your other performers. I think that's important as well, you know.
That is very, very, very important. Thank you for that. And I think sometimes we kind of get lost. Like we don't want to maybe come off in a certain way. So that's why, like you said, we don't know our value, and we kind of little bit devalue ourselves when we do things like that. But like you said, when you're starting off, that's perfect. That's a perfect thing to do. But there is a lot that goes into when you are a musician or a singer. So you definitely hit the nail on the head on that part. And I think it's very important what Vivian said. We're not trying to say that the fadistas that are more known should get less gigs. No, absolutely not. We're just saying to be more of a team and be more collaborative. That's all we're saying. And I think that's a good mention that you said, that we're not bashing the older generation, because we appreciate everything that has been done. We just want to help out a little bit more and be involved a little bit more and help modify things just so it stays current and relevant to the times. That's literally all that it is. So thank you for clearing that up, because
no problem. Honestly, you know, I don't want to step on anyone's toes.
Exactly. So thank you so much, Vivian, for being here today on Amá CONVERSA. You have been a delight. I appreciate you, and I cannot wait. Hopefully we get to sing Fathers together, but
Yes.
I cannot wait for this pandemic to go.
Same, girl. Same. And thank you so much for the invite.
Thank you. Have a good rest of your day.
Bye. You too. Bye.